So I'm in my grow room now, and all of my peppers are now in paper towels. I'm just going to move kind of down over here. You can see some of these are in the sun, but I'll pause this video after we go through a few other things um, and show you how far down I lower my lights. If I had to think which one of these peppers is going to germinate first, it's probably going to be the Etuda because it is a sweet pepper. And the higher the Scoville unit your peppers are in, the longer it takes. So if you're growing something like a Carolina Reaper or a ghost pepper, those can take a long time to germinate. Most of mine say 7 to 10 days. I'm going to start peeking in at them at about day 4. So in my case, it's probably going to go Etuda, then Poblano, Anaheim, Hatch, Jalapeno, and last to germinate is Chimeo. But they may all come in right at the 7-day mark, maybe at the 14-day mark. I can't say. I forgot to mention a couple things, and then I'm going to pause the video and lower my lights down so you can see that. Whether you're planning to put your seeds in paper towel or planting them directly in the ground, you want full-size seeds. So look, if it's a half seed, don't bother. If it's a dark seed, don't bother. If it's just a piece of a seed, don't bother. That seed's probably not going to germinate. You want full seeds that are good in color. All of these seeds are pretty much a kind of like a light yellow color. The Chimeos that I harvested from my plant, because you let them go till they're red. There was a few that had a red color in them, but it soon turned light yellow as soon as it hit my paper towel. So we may see some color changing in there on the paper towel, and I'm not going to worry about it. It's just because the pepper juice, when it came out, was on them, and so thus they're a little bit red. So I did add, there's some of these, the Anaheim, the Hatch, and the Chimeos actually have more seeds in them, and that's because I was just using up a packet. It's not for any other reason. So let me go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to turn the lights off and lower them down so you can see where I'm at. That's going to help hold the temperature in. This room gets down to probably around 50, 55 at night because we turn our heat way down here. And that'll help hold besides them being on the heat mats, that'll also help hold that ambient warmth underneath the lights and everything like that. But I'm not going to go way, way down. I just don't want, like right now, there's sun shining on them. I just don't want the sun to be shining on them. You do not need the light on for peppers to germinate. Remember, normally they're in the soil. They have no light. So hang on and I'll be right back. All right, I got my lights lowered. I'm going to say, there's probably a couple inches there that's just still wiggling around from me moving them. Probably 2.5 inches still that I left. But you can kind of see underneath, I hope. I do have an overhead light on, that they're not getting hit by the sun anymore. So that's the key here. I don't want the sun to heat up that bag any more than it needs to be. I will come in and check the temp a little bit later and just make sure everything seems to be where I think it's going to be. I did just use the tea towels. They're folded in half, so there's 2 layers there above the grow mat. Have a wonderful day and happy gardening.